Day, y'all. So I'm Linda. I'm a dietitian, and I recently became a yoga teacher. So I teach Katonah yoga, and for many people that have done yoga before, this might feel a little different. There's a lot of focus on informing your body and on geometric structure, and of course on waking up your spirit. Yeah, so let's get started. So you could cue your playlist now. I'm going to start playing my music as well. All right, so we're going to start on our backs. And real quick, if anyone doesn't have a yoga mat at home, can you just give me a quick wave on the screen? Everyone have a yoga mat today? Awesome. Okay, so let's get on our backs. Okay, Laurel doesn't have a yoga mat. Is that why you're waving? Or you do have a yoga mat? Okay, so let's start on our backs, bend our knees, sway on side to side. Now we're going to slowly lift our legs into the air. Legs up in the air. Shake out our ankles a little bit. Rotate our ankles outwards and inwards. Typically, I like to do this pose at the end of a long day. I like to put like a blanket or a cushion underneath my sacrum, my legs against the wall. This pose is awesome if you're a runner or if you're on your feet all day. Really helps let out a lot of tension. So you can shake it out. You can find stillness. You can still kind of rotate around. Get comfortable in your sacrum. It's been a long week for everybody, so that's why I usually like to start in a restorative pose. This might be pretty intense for some people too, so feel free to keep your knees a little bent. That should release some tension also. Now place one hand on your belly, the other on your heart. We're going to be taking some deep breaths together. In through your nose. Imagine the breath reaching all the way below your belly button. And out through your nose. Thin and even. In through your nose. Expanding your belly, feeling your belly expand against your hands. And slowly, evenly back out. I like placing a hand on the chest too, so that you feel that your chest is not rising and falling as much as your belly. A lot of the times when we're moving quickly, when we're anxious, we tend to take short, shallow breaths, and that falls in our chest. But now that we have the time, let's take the time and bring our breath all the way to the bottom of our diaphragm, into your belly, and slowly back out. Now let's release our right leg, keep that straight. You can put your hands behind your hamstring, your left hamstring, and feel like you're standing on the floor with your left foot. So always try to keep your feet active for a nice hamstring stretch. Put your hands a little higher if you want to do a calf stretch. Now let's put our right hand on our left knee. Bring our left knee to the right side. You can let your left arm out straight, or like a goalpost, a cactus on, you could do that too. First twist of the morning. Now let's bring our knees back to center, legs back in the air, left leg down, right hand. I like to interlace my fingers behind my hamstring. You could try that. So same thing, my left foot is also flexed out here. So always keeping it active and engaged. Maintaining our deep belly breaths. And now put our left hand on our right knee and bring that to the left side. Turning our face to the right. Deep breath here. Now let's have both our legs in the air. Hands up, like you're about to shoot. And let's pulse a few times towards your toes. Maybe bring it to the left side, right side. Waking up our abdomen. Release your legs, release your arms. Bring your legs down halfway. A little more. And slowly to the ground. Now let's slowly bring our legs up 1/3 of the way, halfway, 2/3, 90-degree angle, and slowly back down, engaging your abdomen. And completely relax when your heels are on the ground. Bring your knees to your chest. Grab behind our hamstrings. Now we're going to start rocking and rolling, forward and backward. Waking up our spinal cord. Let's roll to the top of our mat. And I'm going to find you in hero's pose. Hero's pose is you're simply sitting on your heels, but you're not sitting on your heels. You're actively engaging your core so that you're kind of leaning forward a little. Because if you're sitting on your heels like that, you're on your coccyx. A lot of people will sit in their chairs like this and lean their backs into their chairs. And over time, you're using a lot of your back muscles, so you get tired easily. Because your kidneys are stored in your back. And when your kidneys are slouched like this, your adrenals are not running. So aligning yourself a little bit forward, tipping a little forward, as if you're moving forward. Now we're going to inhale and exhale. Cat-cow back, moving our thighs, moving our hands up and down our thighs. Big breath in through your nose and out. Maybe you can move faster, really waking up your breath. Big breath in. And relax your hands on top of your thighs and observe. Now we're going to take some more breaths. Fist in front of your sternum. Big breath in. and out. In, out. So before we activated our bottom floor, that's our structure, that's our foundation, that's our stability. Right now, we're on our second floor, opening our lungs, bringing fresh air, fresh prana, fresh energy deep into our lungs. The second floor, our torsos, our mouths, all about building capacity, reaching out. Inhale, arms up in the air. Big breath in. 3 more sips. Hold it full. Tuck your chin in a little. And slowly exhale from the top of your head. Releasing your hands. Now we're going to bring our arms up again. You can keep them touching like this. I find it easier to maintain contact when I interlace them over here. Make sure you find space for your ears, your arms between your ears. Now you're going to inhale to the left, your heart side, and exhale to the right, out into the world. Inhale to your heart, exhale to the world, in, out, in, out. Right now we're activating our third floor, our top floor. Gives us vision, where our eyes are located, where our third eye is. Our left side is our lunar nature, our right side is our solar nature, and in the middle is stellar, the implicit, what we can't see. That's where we radiate from. Let's move a little faster, we've been moving slowly. Sweeping out our house, sweeping out our homes, our bodies, making sure everything is clean and tidy. Release, arms up. One breath in the other. Hold it full up top. Take 3 little sips. And exhale from the top of your head. Just observing. Now let's get into our tabletop. So finding right angles. So how you find right angles between your hands, making sure your fingers, your middle fingers can touch underneath your sternum, and that over here is shoulder width distance. So you're creating a frame. So this frame over here, wrist, wrist, collarbone, collarbone, creates a frame to open your lungs. So that way you can open a window. From here, we're going to do the similar motions from before. Cat, cow, cow looking up, cat stretching our backs. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You could savor this. You could really take a big inhale. Maybe if you're warmed up already, you could go quickly. And maybe you feel good and you want to take big rotations. Finding freedom in the confinement. Whatever feels good right now in your hips, in your spinal cord, in your shoulders. Really starting to loosen up the joints. Now, let's take our wrists. We're going to flip them around. This might be pretty intense for some people. So make sure to keep a little micro bend in your elbow so you're not hyperextending anywhere. And take small rotations clockwise with the turn of time. Now maybe move counterclockwise. Our wrists are very sensitive. There's similar joints between our wrists and our necks and our ankles. So any issues you have in your wrist, which a lot of people have issues in their wrists because we're always typing and on our computers, you'll also see in your neck as well. So now, interlace your fingers. Your thumbs are pointing towards you. And here, go and start making big circles in our waist. Stirring up our waters. Our kidneys and our lower backs represent water. There's a lot of filtering for us. So we want to make sure the filter is clean. Spin the other way. Spin both directions. And now find stillness before we do a few more cat-cows. Now find your tabletop. Release your hands. Step your feet out into a plank. And when you're in your plank, shift to the pads underneath your fingers. So the top of your finger pads, the ball of your hand. So let's shift our weight to the ball of our hand. Find the balls of your feet. Bend your knees a lot. Look forward as you're about to pounce. And from here, slowly elongate the backs of your legs for our first down dog. So you could try that again. Roll back to plank. Bend your knees a lot as if you're about to pounce. And from here, pull your tailbone towards the sky. Elongate your legs. Now that you're in your dog, you can walk your dog. Maybe bend your knees a little. Shift forward and backwards so you're comfortable. Make sure you're keeping your gaze, your drishti, towards the front. Because dogs, you never see them peeping up at their groin. They're looking out when they're stretching. Now, inhale in your dog, and exhale into plank. Inhale, dog, and exhale, plank. So try to focus on your pelvis, your hip joint. That's moving up and down. No tension in the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale to dog, exhale to plank. Now let's bring it to a down dog. An up dog. So, and over here, I like to keep my balls of the feet on the ground so that I'm giving space so the tops of my thighs can stretch. From here, press back into down dog. Plank and up dog. Down dog. Plank and up dog. And now when you go to your plank, maybe you could touch your elbows to the ground. So plank, down dog, plank, elbow. So see what feels good for you. Maybe you could go down dog to up dog, or maybe you could touch your elbows to the ground. Really pulling yourself into your hips, into your pelvis. Really warming up our bottom floor. Now let's get on our knees, sit on our toes. I'm gonna shake it out. We just did a lot of wrist work. So shake, shake, shake. Hands higher above your head. You shake both directions. You shake out, you shake in, up and down. We're doing all this wrist shaking to take off your attention from your feet, because pay attention to your feet right now. Probably not feeling great. We never spend a lot of time stretching the tops of our feet. So this position is really tough for a lot of people. Now release it all. And maybe you can lean back. Maybe you can make circles with your knees. If that's too tough, you could just rock a little back, a little forward. All right, release. And now we're going to do a swim. So you bring your hand all the way around. And when you bring your hand back down, you're flipping your wrist. So up, flip, up, flip. And bring it back forward, forward. And if you think, oh, I got this, this is easy, maybe you could do it in plank. Making sure your hips are stable, so you're not swaying. Hi, Stephanie. Stephanie just came in. She did yoga teacher training with me. All right, let's relax. Sit on our toes again. Now we're gonna flick our wrist. I'm a big fan of flicking. As opposed to if your wrists are tired, as opposed to doing this, where energetically the energy stays, the stagnant energy stays in your wrist. I like to flick it out or do this or that. All right, let's find our down dog one more time. Make it a little shorter. So bring your hands like 6 to 12 inches closer. And now you're going to use your left hand, grab your right heel. So if you can't grab your entire right heel, move your right hand back a little more until you get a perfect grip. Try to make good contact with your chest against the tops of your thighs. And then look out under your right armpit. Our first deep twist of the day. Yoga is very simple. It's just a forward bend, back bend, and a twist. Release. Let's try the other side. So now right hand grabbing left heel and twist. Now let's bring our hands back together. Walk back to your plank. Walk back to your down dog. And now let's take our right hand and put it on our sacrum. Really cross-referencing your left hand with your right foot. And now switch. Right hand down, left hand on sacrum. Really bend your knees. Push up into your hips. And release. Bring it to your knees. Bring it to child's pose. Big breath into your belly. Big breath out. And now back to the plank. Down dog. Walk your hands to meet your feet. And I'll meet you in a forward fold. So in your forward fold, I want you to keep your knees bent a lot. The point of a forward fold is not to have your legs completely straight, but to find good contact between your chest and the tops of your thighs. So keep your feet hip distance apart. So 2 fists between the arches of your feet. Squeeze your fists with your arches. And there you go, hips width distance. So keep your knees bent. You could put your fingers interlaced behind your neck. With every breath, see if you could bring more contact. If you're really struggling here, chances are you're using your quads a lot. Try shifting your weight into the balls of your feet. You could also grab for opposite elbow. Let's walk our fingertips forward. Take a big breath here before walking them to the right to your 10 o'clock. Maintaining a frame between your wrist, collarbone, collarbone. Let's walk them to the left. Bring it to the middle. And from here, bend your knees a lot. Grab opposite elbows. Slowly tip back. And with the strength of your legs, push yourself slowly, slowly, slowly up. And release. Now we are all in mountain pose. In mountain pose, energetically feel your weight shift between the balls of your feet and your heels. Feeling all four corners of your feet firmly planted on the ground. Savoring being on this mountain. Now inhale. Exhale, bend your knees a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Bend back into your forward fold. Now you're going to slip your hands underneath your feet. So to do this, you definitely have to bend your knees a lot. Try keeping your chest against your thighs. And if your chest is on your thighs, then you could slowly lengthen the back of your legs. So this is also great for stretching out your wrists. And then from here, maybe take a walk. Take a walk up and down your mat. I know this is super awkward, but it'll feel really good afterwards. And now release. Now you're going to grab your heels. Make sure it's a good tight fit, like a ball in a mitt. And from here, you're going to lengthen and down. So your hinge. And release. Now walk out into a plank. Then put yourself back into down dog. Roll into a plank. Let's go into upward dog. And push back into down dog. Now we're going to step our right foot to meet our right hand. So when you lunge, bring your knee to your nose, look forward, step forward. Bring our left knee down. And from here, make sure that your knee is in your armpit. Now we're going to massage our armpit. So you have a lot of lymph nodes in your armpit. There's a lot of pressure points in there. So you want to get that clean, that running fluently as well. This might hurt a lot for some people. It might feel weird, but it's a nice practice to have. Awesome. From here, energize your back foot. Put it down at a 45-degree angle. You're going to put your right hand inside your right foot. So the heel of your hand align with the heel of your right foot. Put your hand on your sacrum. Look forward. Start twisting your head. You're twisting, twisting, twisting. And then put your arm up. Nice side angle. And if you're comfortable here, take it, energize. Bring your body up to a warrior two. Make sure you're not leaning forward or back. From here, flip your palm up. Peaceful warrior. Back to warrior two. Bring it back down to a side angle. And let's try that again. Bring it to warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. And exhale. Hands are on your feet. Step back into a plank. Downward facing dog. Now left knee to nose. Look forward, step your left foot forward. Right knee down. Massage your left armpit. And now left hand inside left foot so that the left heel of your hand aligns with your left heel. Energize your back foot. Make sure that leg is straight, it's strong. Balls of your foot firmly planted on the ground. That back foot is your anchor, is your strength. Hand on your sacrum. As you rotate your head. And look up. Oh, sorry, we did a foot 45-degree angle down in the last one. We could do that here too. That'll help you bring it up to warrior two. From your warrior two, you can find peaceful warrior. And bringing it back to side angle. And from here, warrior two, peaceful warrior, and back down. Back into plank, push into downward facing dog. Right knee to nose, right knee forward, left foot at a 45-degree angle, firmly planted. Right hand inside right foot, twisting open to the left. Stepping up into warrior two. Bring it back to peaceful warrior. Bring it back down. Step back to plank. Downward facing dog. Roll yourself forward to upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Left foot to knee, left foot forward. Right foot down, that's your anchor. Left hand inside left foot. Start twisting open to the right side. Arm up, warrior two. Now back to peaceful warrior. Now bring your hands all the way down. Back to a plank, back to up dog. Sorry, down dog to up dog. And now slowly lower all the way to the ground. And from here, align your thumb with your nipples. And now you're going to peel your chest off the ground for our first baby cobra. So baby cobra is a back bend, but I like to do it so that I'm not relying on my hands to get myself off the ground. But now you can put your elbows down, hands in front of you, for Sphinx pose. We're doing a lot of back bends today. So back bend stretches your liver. In your liver, the eyes are the portal to your liver. When you stretch your liver, you stretch your vision. Back bends break habits. So be nice to your liver. And now let's bring our hands back down, elbows back for one more baby cobra. So from baby cobra, push into child's pose. And from here, we're going to do camel. So options. So you can keep your knees slightly separated, hands against your heels, forehead against knee, And from here, you look forward, look forward, look forward. Use your vision to open your front and express your back bend. And then slowly fold back down. So that's one way to get into camel. Another way to get into camel is you could find the balls of your feet, put your hands on your sacrum, look up, slowly bend into your sacrum, feel your hands supporting you, and then find your heels. This is also a beautiful expression of camel. So we did a lot of hip mobility before with the hinging at the hips. So that should have warmed us up to get into camel from that little seed pod. But a lot of people have no idea where their pelvis is, where their hips are, and that's totally fine. Right now, nowadays in life, we rely a lot on our top floor, our mind. And this is why it's important to practice yoga, exercise, be in nature. These are all grounding practices. And grounding practices bring us back into our body. So remember, like, oh, right, there's me, I'm here. We're all material. So if you've come out of camel, let's meet our camel one more time. And when you're in your camel, imagine a string from below your belly button pulling you forward. And slowly come back out the way you came in. And let's find a moment of stillness in Hero's Pose in Virasana. All right, so now let's get on our backs. And from here, several options. You could energize your belly, your danti, your core. Bring it up to a bridge. Or if you're comfortable, you could interlace your fingers underneath, bring your shoulders in, so you're slightly elevated. Remember to activate the tops of your legs, your core. Or if that's comfortable for you, you also press into full wheel. Breathe in and out of it a couple times. So if you're in the first variation, you could breathe in, bring it up, breathe out, bring your sacrum back to the ground. Inhale, bring it to bridge. And exhale, bring it down to the ground. Everyone relax. Let's do another roll. Hands behind your hamstrings. Roll you forward into a tabletop. From here, step out into a plank. Elbows in. Press all the way to the ground into a baby cobra. Relax your forehead onto the ground. Release your arms to the side. And from here, you're going to zip your legs together. Keep your tops of your feet firmly planted along on the floor. And lift your chest up. Kind of like baby cobra, but not supported. And release. Left cheek onto the ground. Now we're going to do this again, but arms and legs off the ground. So zip up your legs, extend your arms. Inhale. You're superhuman. Chest up, legs up. Look up. And release. Right cheek to the ground. Awesome. Now let's push back into our last down dog of the day. Really savor this position. This is a symmetrical pose. So all symmetrical poses even out your sacrum. Again, your sacrum is right below your kidneys. So when you're evening out your kidneys, then they optimally run on both sides. Let's walk our feet to our hands. And from here, we're going to take Malasana, a squat. So notice in my squat that my chest is still facing outside. I'm not hunched, I'm open. So put your right hand outside your right foot. We'll go for an open twist. Maybe you could bring it around for a bend, bind. Bring your arm back the same way you came in, and switch to the other side. Now let's meet in hero's pose. So if hero's pose is really uncomfortable for you, you can also sit in easy poses, just cross-legged. But the issue with cross-legged is that a lot of people just tend to sit on their tailbones and then you end up in that slouch again, just because we're so used to sitting in chairs. So either like pull your butt cheeks away so you're sitting on your sit bones, or meet me in hero's pose, where it's easier to tilt forward towards your perineum, which is where you're trying to sit on. That's the opening of the vagina, or the space in between your scrotum and your anus. So that really is the center of your pelvis, and that's kind of where we're aiming for. So from here, right arm goes up the middle of your back. You try to grab your elbow to direct it there. And then left arm, you bring it up. Rotate your armpit towards your face. Bring it in for a bind. Lean your head into your arm. So again, you're not slouching into it. Try to take a few deep breaths into your belly from here. And release. And try the other side. This side's a lot easier for me than the other side, I think, for a lot of people. But if you can't make this connection, a lot of times our bottom arm is just going way too far out as opposed to going up towards the center between our shoulder blades. That seems to be a common issue when there's no contact. But even if there's no contact, just imagine there is. And one day your imagination, your breath will bring you there. Now release. Bring our hands together, interlaced, like your coat rack. Now we're going to flap our wings. Big inhale, exhale. Maybe flop a little faster. And slow again. Relax and observe. And now we're going to go into reverse namaste, where you bring your hands in prayer behind your back. This might be tough for a lot of you, so if it is, feel free to just keep your hands interlaced behind your back, underneath your shoulder blades. Your thumbs are right in your little wings over there. Or you could play with reverse namaste and try to get contact between all parts of your palm, especially in a time now with all the social distancing. Maintaining contact is important. So finding contact with yourself, maintaining contact with others, same, but different. Inhale, exhale. Now release, and let's sit on our heels again. Flick it out, flick, flick, flick. All that tension out. And release that. Let's lean back one more time. Make circles with your knees if you can. Or just rock back and forth on your tops of your ankles. And now let's find our ways to our backs again. And now bring your right ankle over your left knee. And you're going to grab your hamstring, again, fingers interlaced behind your left hamstring for a nice figure four stretch. Oh, we got a cat visitor. And bring your knees to your chest. And switch to the other side. So left ankle on right knee. Fingers interlaced behind your right hamstring. Activating both feet. If your feet aren't floppy, they're activated. Now bring both knees to your chest. Bring your forehead to your knees. Really making yourself as compact as possible. Now slowly release your neck. And hands on the ground. You're going to put your legs in the air one more time, like how we started. You can shake it out. Shake out all that tension. We did a few warriors earlier. It's nice to get your joints loose. Maybe include your wrists in this. Now you're a dead cockroach. Sorry, that was probably a horrible image for most people. But yeah, get it off. Shake it, shake it, shake it. And stillness. Observing the energy coursing through yourself. Remember to keep a micro bend in your knees. Rock left and right so you can feel your sacrum against the ground. And now bend your knees a lot. Grab the bottoms of your feet for happy baby. There's a better image. I like happy baby. It's probably one of my favorite poses. I could be here for a very long time. Again, it's a symmetrical pose, so it's very stabilizing for your sacrum. You can rock gently side to side. Try making contact between your armpit and your knees. If you're comfortable here, you could bring your legs back for a plow. Move up a little. This is plow. Try to make contact with the tops of your feet and your mat. Eventually, bringing your knees to cover your ears so you can hear the oceanic sounds of your own waters. You can also do rabbit, more energized pose, but similar stimulation to your thyroid, which is in your neck, also your throat chakra. So whichever pose is most accessible to you, you could stay in happy baby. That's a great place to be. Maintaining your deep belly breath. Now slowly relaxing everything, bringing your entire body, heels against the floor, relaxing your arms. You could keep one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. In our Shavasana, corpse pose. I had a monk email me recently about things we could do in this time, and his suggestion was contemplation of death. So most yoga classes end in Shavasana, corpse pose, which is a little morbid. You can interpret it as a contemplation of death. Only when you appreciate death can you truly appreciate life. Bring your breath into your belly, and out through your nose. Deepen your breath. Slowly bring sensation back to your fingers and toes. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself another nice hug. Turn to the right. Push yourself back up into Hira's pose or asana. I want to end with one last breathing exercise. This one is great. It's called Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. So use your right hand. Keep these two fingers in the middle of your forehead, your third eye. And you're going to press down on your left nostrils with your ring finger. Inhale with your other nostril, your right nostril. And then press your thumb down on your right nostril. Release your ring finger. And exhale through your left nostril. Inhale with the left nostril. Press down with your ring finger. Exhale through the right nostril. Keep continuing this pattern. It helps slow down the breathing. Helps relieve tension. You might find that there might be blockages on one side. When you inhale through the right nostril, you're breathing into your left lung. When you inhale through your left nostril, you're breathing into the right lung. Your left lung, your left side is your lunar nature. Your left hand is your heart. Your right side represents your liver, represents reaching out, signing contracts, making the deal. Bring our hands together, hold it over our hearts, feeling our heartbeats, knowing how our hearts radiate and illuminate ourselves from within. And acknowledging the expansiveness of our inner world. Let's take a deep breath together. Inside out. One more breath together. Sigh it all out. One more breath. And sigh. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I appreciate you all for showing up. I hope you enjoyed our practice together.